Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. We got Jimmy Valley from Val Hill Capital going to remind us everything runs on the XRP ledger. Let's just know that. And while we're talking about that, we're also going to talk about this BIS pointing to an $8 trillion bottleneck in the crypto industry. Yeah, that's right. Legislation may be closer than we think, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter for exclusive content. $845 billion market cap for crypto. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy Festivus, I think is the new term everybody's using. $845 billion market cap, and it's off by 0.3%. 16,800 plus for Bitcoin, Ethereum 1219 and change. Tether market cap is 66.2 billion, they say. 35 cents for XRP. We're running flat right now. Yeah, how about that? We're running flat at 35 cents. I want to remind everybody right now, if you haven't done it, look, I've been using Uphold for a long time, and it's anything to anything. It is a great place to go to get your altcoins. It's also a great place to go because you know that they're not like a lot of these other exchanges. They're highly compliant, doing their thing. They've been very transparent, doing whatever they need to make sure they're inside the regulatory system. I tell you, I love using Uphold. You guys know that. But you can also buy private equity with your crypto at Link2. Yes, Ripple, we're talking about. Link2 itself, or whether you get PolySign, which is created by David Schwartz and Arthur Brito. They are running an incredible special to close out the year, and you're going to miss it, because it's going to get sold if you don't click the link and get some. But right now, I want you to hear Jimmy Valley talking with Ray Fuentes here, and listen to what he says about why they participated in the lawsuit and how they deal with the noise out here in social media because of what they believe and what they're fighting for. Shout out to Jimmy Valley and everybody at Val Hill.
Why do you think others may misunderstand what we're trying to do? And in response to that, what are you doing to, I guess, move that noise to the side?
Yeah, excellent question. It's difficult to communicate the complexity of what we're trying to do over things like Twitter, where every statement is a soundbite or a headline, and this is really people would have to understand, how contracts work, how fair market value is established. I mean, there's just a bunch of things underneath what we're trying to do. It's a deep, complicated thing.
Yes, it is. And I just want to highlight what he highlighted, how contracts are used, right? Remarkable comment right there. How contracts are used and fair market value. Keep listening.
I understand people hear a big number and oh, that's ridiculous. But I just think they're not thinking about it correctly. If you started to think about it from the perspective of, okay, it is clear to us now that the government has suppressed on purpose the adoption of the asset. Why are they doing that, right? What is the ultimate goal? Can the government come out and definitively tell us they're not going to use XRP in transactions going forward? They can't do that because, of course, they are going to use it. So, we're providing that counterbalance, that party out there that's saying, no, if the use case is fully realized and all assets are tokenized and the XRPL becomes the layer one that all value transmits on, which has been the stated goal since the beginning, that's been reconfirmed by the World Economic Forum, by the IMF, certainly Ripple. I mean, it's been discussed in professional circles plain as day in multiple readings. That's what everybody has learned as they've done the research. So we're just trying to put a number on that, right? What is that?
And man, I love it. Yeah, shout out to Jimmy Valley and Val Hill Capital, Ray Fuentes, and Link 2. That whole clip is remarkable, and you should go watch it. I'm telling you, check and click that link below for Link 2 and private equity as well. Right here, we got to follow what's going on with Twitter because, look, we saw this coming early on. Elon comes in, buys up Twitter, starts releasing the information that we've all believed was happening, especially if you're an influencer. You've learned, listen, there's a whole dark side to this being an influencer we can get into one day. Maybe it's something we'll even talk about at the Digital Perspectives Mastermind meetup. There's only 5 seats left to get into that. You better click that link underneath the video too. But I tell you, there's a whole dark side there that is absolutely very real that I have to deal with every day of my life as an influencer and a YouTuber. You better be careful what you say out here because it can get you jammed up, right? And it doesn't have to be something that's like really, really horrible either. It just has to go against what a narrative is, being controlled and delivered. And here we see, this is Glenn Greenwald sharing here from Paul Ferrari. It says, Elon Musk said journalists he suspended from Twitter could return. What he didn't say is there was a catch. The journalists have refused to meet his terms and remain locked out. Glenn says here, corporate journalists are learning this for the first time because they had been immune. But Twitter, pre-Musk, always required deletion of offending tweets before returning. None of these people gave a crap that the NY Post was locked out for 2 weeks before the election. This is the kind of really lopsided advantage that has been going on. And then we come here. Yeah. Makes sense that we roll right into the SEC next, doesn't it? Not exactly an agency that's screaming integrity. I think it needs a new name and a complete washout. That's what I think it needs. Dan Berkovitz became SEC's new general counsel under Gensler back in 21, September 28. But looky here. Jeremy Hogan, shout out to him and his family. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. SEC attorney Dan Berkovitz was the first pawn sacrifice in the FTX debacle. He announced his leaving the SEC at the end of January. Below in his email with SBF discussing how impressed he was that FTX sponsors Major League Baseball. Look who else is in here too. Mark Wertigen's in there. Zach Dexter. Brett Harrison's in there. This is Sam Bankman-Fried. We are the natural choice to be the umpires of the crypto industry. Right? And then here you have here. Thanks for the update and links. I was watching the Dodgers versus Giants the other night and saw that FTX is the official cryptocurrency exchange of Major League Baseball. I gather this is not news. I'm not sure why MLB needs to have a cryptocurrency exchange, but glad to see that it has one that supports regulation. Best from Dan, who's now leaving. It's incestual what's going on with these agencies and these groups and these companies. They're looking the other way to political donations. It's not hard to see. Ray Charles could see it. Ray Charles could see what's wrong with this, too. Former CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, who stole $10 billion, claimed on Twitter Spaces he had less than $100,000 in his bank account. Yet, he just paid his $250 million bail and is flying first class. Make it make sense. Who said crime doesn't pay? Looked like it paying him. In the U.S., judge assigned to SBF case steps down due to her husband's law firm previously advising FTX. Well, thank God for this one, because the way the tone and the tide has been, I'm shocked to even see this. Pleasantly shocked. Let's take a look at this, because I'd be shocked to see this too, and I bet you would as well. Bull flags, unlike most patterns, they tend to be highly accurate. Bull flags may last from 1 to 6 weeks, however. The breakout of the bull flag formation is coinciding with a possible wave count number 3. Just a reminder, this is XRP versus Bitcoin chart. And you can see here what you may get with wave 3. 4 is a pullback. 5 is another break. If it follows the Elliott wave, right? But this is what we'd be looking for right here. And look, if we get all the way to 5, I think it's like $1.50 in that range. If you do the conversion on that, in case anybody's wondering. But let's change gears very quickly here. That's just a little update, what to pay attention to over the next few days here, a couple weeks. Bank of England's John Cunliffe pushes the crypto regulation, sees real benefit for the UK. I remind you right now, even the Prime Minister of the UK is a huge advocate for cryptocurrency. They have made it very clear they are going to be a crypto hub for the globe. And guess who else just stepped up? In the illustrious words of myself, Michael Brandt says, come on in. Yeah, the Brazilian Securities Exchange Commission, CVM, on Friday approved the ability for investment funds to include crypto assets among their holdings. Another step forward, the U.S. looking like a smacked ass. But you know what? Hang on. I think there's hope here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give you this 45 seconds of Hyun Song Shin from the Bank of International Settlements. That's right, the BIS, the central bank of central banks. He is going to very, very succinctly tell you about this problem, which is the bottleneck to crypto and traditional finance. Now, I know you know this, but don't go nowhere. I got something for you.
Now, within this ecosystem, stablecoins have come to occupy a really very central place. And the reason for this, I think, is also very revealing, because what it shows is that stablecoins play the role of the point of contact, if you like, between the crypto universe and the conventional monetary system. And the primary function has really been to piggyback on the monetary unit, to piggyback on the unit of account role of conventional money, and therefore play this role as the connecting point between the conventional monetary system and the crypto world.
To play this role as the connecting point between the crypto world and the conventional monetary system. Oh, they got her figured out, and they got a bullseye on her back too, buddy. Don't believe it. It's still true. What have I been saying? You think USD Tether just going to go out here? Binance USD, Terra is already gone. DAI tokens here, USD coin. They're going to just let all of this be the bottleneck into this entire industry that's seen more than $3 trillion at its peak. And just let any old body do whatever they want and release their own attestations and not have independent accounting reviews of their reserves. I got waterfront property in Planet Xanadu. You need to give me a call. Stablecoin Act of 2022. 2 weeks before his retirement, this comes from Senator Pat Toomey. And this isn't some throw spaghetti at the wall. Now, maybe it doesn't make it, but what I will tell you is that Senator Pat Toomey knows an awful lot about crypto and stablecoins, and he's an advocate for the technology. He understands the advantage of getting out here and being a leader, just like it was for the internet. He also understands that stablecoins, just as it was said by the gentleman from the BIS, are in fact that connecting point between crypto and the conventional, traditional monetary system. And they're going to regulate the hell out of it. Don't believe that. It's still true. Whether it's this bill or some other bill. To provide regulatory framework, consumer protections for the issuance of payment stablecoins and for other purposes. Shout out to Senator Toomey. I hope he's looking forward to his new retirement coming soon. Provide regulatory framework for consumer protections here. It says, by enacted, the Senate House of Representatives, United States Congress assembled. This act may be cited as a Stablecoin Transparency of Reserves and Uniform Safe Transactions Act of 2022. 2022 or the Stablecoin Trust Act of 2022. It is not a mistake that we're seeing this stuff happen right now. I remind you before we go to the next piece here, this is so very important because $7 trillion currently has been moved and settled through stablecoins, saying that the value settled might hit $8 trillion in the remaining days of the year. That is very close to gold's total market cap. Yeah, how about that one? And not to mention the fact, to put it in context here, Mastercard settled $2.2 trillion in value. This won't go on in the manner that it has for much longer. You can bet your bottom dollar on that one, okay? That much we know. And that's why I believe we see all these things like this. Ripple partners take on SWIFT with 90% cheaper solutions for U.S. brokers now. Now, we're talking about the ability once you tokenize everything. We're not talking about just this little old slim slice of cheese or slice of the pie that's just crypto. We're talking about where the world is going, ladies and gentlemen. Everything of value will be tokenized. And Ripple partner Neum knows it. And they've launched a new brokerage payment solution that offers international financial institutions a faster and more cost-effective method of settling transactions, listen to this, to select U.S. brokerages, enabling customers to easily invest in U.S. equities. The new solution leverages Ripple's blockchain network, RippleNet, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Who else has got this kind of connections and market infrastructure that's being developed right here on the precipice of getting legal clarity? Very exciting going into this year, I tell you, closing out this one too. Then I remind everybody about global stablecoins from the Financial Stability Bureau, or Board, excuse me. Back in 2020, we covered it to enhance cross-border payments. But we know that RippleNet now has the functionality to settle derivatives too. We also know that we covered here on this channel that the SEC, including Gary Gensler and all the commissioners, voted unanimously to move to T+0 using distributed ledger technology. Wonder if RippleNet's involved in that, because Neum's certainly using it for U.S. brokers. Let me show it again now. I just want to show you again. Now, we know that that's what happened, right? So here it is right here. Cost-effective method of settling transactions to select U.S. brokerages using RippleNet. Come on in. It's a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget this, Palau. Republic of Palau stablecoin project on the Ripple private ledger. Come on in. This is the fundamental news I want to keep seeing. I need to keep reminding myself of in an uncertain, dark time as we cross through this threshold. I hope in some way that it's helped you, and I hope that you're able to be with your family, friends, and loved ones at a time like this during a Festivus time of year. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Festivus, wherever you are. And that is going to do it for me. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Before I get out of here, I do want to remind you, I Trust Capital. If you haven't looked at it, take a look, see if it's right for yourself. I absolutely love them. I was a customer before they were a sponsor. But I tell you, you can roll over your 401k. The only thing better than buying crypto is buying tax-free crypto. So why haven't you done it? And then you can get staking too. I'll catch all of you on the next one.